war rages across the mortal realms. New alliances are formed while others lie shattered, and the dominant powers ever seek their next conquest. While this and countless other battles rage on, one fact is becoming clear. The season of war has begun. This video is brought to you by the support of our channel members and our FLGS partner, Warpfire Minis. Today's battle showcases beautiful thematic dice from Baron of Dice. Grab your own or get a custom set made at baronofdice.com.
Hello and welcome to Season of War. Today we are excited for another game of Age of Sigmar. My name's Jordan and I am joined by Ridge tonight.
Hello, hello, what's going on?
And we've got an exciting destruction matchup today. Ridge, you're playing the Sons of Behemat and I've got the Ironjawz. I'm excited to play these guys. It's actually been a bit in this edition. I haven't got to play them very much, so pumped for that. But before we dive into things, I just want to say a big thank you to all our channel members who make all the content on this channel possible. Every battle report we do is thanks to our channel members and our channel partners like Warpfire Minis and Baron of Dice. So if you enjoy our content and also want to see more of it, you can sign up to our channel membership by hitting the join button below this video and you'll get an extra battle report every week. Again, it's the best way to support the channel. The only reason we're hopefully going to be able to do this for a long time. So we super appreciate the support, but either way, we've got an exciting matchup ahead of us. The mission we're to be playing today is the Better Part of Valor. So there's 6 objectives on the table. It's hold 1, hold 2, hold more for scoring. The twist with this one is if a friendly non-hero unit kills an enemy unit on an objective, then your unit becomes dominant while it's on that objective, meaning it counts for an extra 10 points for the objective control score. But if your opponent is the underdog, they will get +1 a hit against any dominant units. But Ridge, that's it for the mission. Do you want to take us through your list?
Yes, I do. So we're playing Gargants today. I wanted to try something a little different, so we brought out Braggart's Bottle Snatchers. It's the cool Gitz Regiment of Renown, so it gives us a little bit of utility. So that is the first regiment, and then my second regiment I have King Broad. He is the general, and then in his regiment he has a War Stomper. The War Stomper has the extra callous feet, which is an awesome item, and his heroic trait is monstrously tough, which just gives him an extra 5 wounds, which is always good on Gargants. And then for the sub-faction, I just did Taker Tribe, so I get an extra artifact. So I put that on the only other hero that I have, which is Gatebreaker, and then he has the something of horns and something, which gives him and anything,
Cloak of Horns and Tusks, or
there you
something
go.
like that.
Cloak of Horns and Tusks. We'll see if that's right. +1 to hit to him and anything holy 12 of him. Yeah, that's the list, because I'm playing Gargants.
Yeah, very short and sweet. For me, we've got a few more bodies on the board. Actually, you might outnumber me. You got lots of goblins, but I've got the orcs today. I'm doing Ironjawz Brawl, as you do, because an extra attack is always a lot of fun. And going through the list, we'll start with the Mega Boss on Maw Crusher. He's got both of my enhancements. One is the Ember Bone Whetstone for the extra rend on the rider's weapon, and then his command or his heroic trait will allow him to give out an 18-inch bubble of +1 to charge when he successfully makes a charge. And he is my general. Then in the rest of his regiment, we have a unit of 10 Brutes and Zodrat Anvil Smasher, who can give out a nice mortal wound buff. And then I have 2 other regiments, both led by a War Chanter. One includes 10 Brutes, the other one includes 10 Ardboys and 6 Brute Ragers. And that rounds out the army for me. Not a lot of units, but a lot of hitting power, hopefully a lot of staying power too when we get hit. But that is it for me. Ridge, we were both 3 drops here. I did win the roll-off, so I chose to be the attacker. And for my Honor Guard ability, I'm going to choose Field Sergeant with Zodrat, so that he can give out a nice +2 inches of movement to everyone.
Nice. I am going to go for Prize Beasts on the War Stomper, because the War Stomper is awesome.
All right, sounds good. And with that, again, I have choice, and I'm going to give away the turn, as you do with combat armies. And let's jump into Sons of Behemat, turn 1.
Let's go. Sweet, sweet. So for turn 1, we are just going to go for take the flanks, because I'm set up for it and cannot fail. I am going to go for a prayer, because I have one of those with King Broad. So we'll go for the +2 move prayer on him. He's going to get it. Nice, with a big 6. So +2 move to the Gargants on the field. Next, we were going to go for our only cast, which is from the Gobblepalooza. And we're just going to go for the Kron Spine. Why not? We took the lore. Let's go for it. No, we fail. And that's going to be all for my hero phase.
And I will then spend a command point for magical intervention with one of my war chanters, and I'm going to just chant for a random prayer and bank 5 points.
Nice.
And then I have my Mighty Destroyers movement, and I'm going to bring these guys back because they're feeling a little scared right now.
Okay, so then we will just go into my movement. We have to spend CP for out the double with the Squidcard. So I am going to deep strike the Rabble Rouser from the Braggott's Bottle Snatchers in Jordan's back corner. Now he is going to be staring at the War Stomper and give the War Stomper run in charge. And I just have to make sure I finish my movement closer to him, which I definitely am going that way, so I will. So we will then run that War Stomper for 4, nice. So that will make me 16 inches. That's gonna be it for my movement phase. All right, so let's go into charge phase. So first we're gonna just go with the big War Stomper first, see what he gets. We got a big 9. Broad will go for his charge. Oh, he needs a 9, so that's an 8. Yeah, we will spend the CP and go for the 9 here with King Broad, which we will fail. And then for my charge ability, I will do the D3 mortal wounds to the Ard boys for 2 mortals.
You'll take one down.
I'm gonna go for a roar onto the pack of brutes. So that will go off on a 3+, which we will get. So in the combat phase, I'm gonna try to pick up one of the Ard boys and then throw it at the Rager. So after we'll double their health characteristics, so a 4, which I get. So I'm gonna pick up an Ard boy and toss him at the Ragers.
And then I will get to do some shield bashes with my Ard boys. And we'll deal 3 mortal wounds.
Nice.
Would have been 6 if I had a big boss.
War Stomper is the prize beast. He's gonna go first. He's gonna put everything into the brutes. The stomps, 7 attacks because of the item on 3s, so 9 damage there. And then the death grip for just 1, and this will be the club into them. So those are only 2 each, so that will be another 6 damage.
All right, so that should be 16 damage in total. That'll kill 5. And then we're gonna get to fight back, and we'll start off with the Ard boys.
All right, I'm gonna go for an all-out defense here.
So we'll be on 4s and 3s here.
The Ard boys deal 2 damage to the War Stomper, then the Brutes and Brute Ragers combine to add 10 more wounds.
So that will be the turn. I am not going to power through or do anything else and just take my 10 points, scoring flanks and more. I kind of counter deployed. I was thinking about doing Cs, but then you have the 3-inch hero phase move, could counter charge. So then I ended up just staying away from you and just, yeah, taking the point over here. Now, I'm not sure if that Gargant goes down. I rolled pretty well with the saves and stuff. But also, I thought he was going to do more damage than 16 with all of the crazy, the +1 to Ren damage, all that stuff. But we're playing destruction. So it's like, those things are going to constantly happen.
Yeah, and 3-up save brutes aren't the easiest to go through.
Yeah, I know. Even Ren, when you didn't even make any, you didn't really make any 6s.
No.
Because it's Ren 3 and Ren 4.
Yeah, make 1 save, that's notable, another guy lives.
That's what I mean. Like, he's 16 without you even making saves. So, but yeah, that will be me.
All right, well, 10 points for the Guardians, and we will jump into Ironjawz, turn 1. All right, so my battle tactic this turn is going to be take their land, and I'm going to nominate this terrain piece back here. And my first war chanter here is going to go for the Killabeat onto the brutes. And I'll get that with a 7. If I had got it with a 5 there, I could have also put it on the Mega Boss, so not quite enough. But then Zodrat is going to try and give that unit crit mortals, looking for a 3-up and getting to re-roll it because of Plank or Kronk or whatever his little pet is. So they'll get mortals now too. And then the other war chanter is going to chant for the Get 'em Beat on the other unit of brutes. I'll get a 3, so I'm just going to bank those points. And then I'm going to do a Mighty Destroyers move with my brutes. And that's going to be it for my hero phase. So let's get into movement. And then we are going to get into the shooting phase, and we'll have the Mega Boss on Maw Crusher shooting at your hoppers, your squid hoppers. And we'll have 4 of them at no rend for 1 damage.
Just a 6-up save. No, you do 4.
And then we'll get into charging, and we're going to declare a wall with Zograk here. So we're going to get +1 to charge and notably +1 attack.
Yeah, big.
So we'll start off with the charge for the brutes. They're in there with a 7. And then I'll charge the Mega Boss and get a 12.
Okay.
And then the Mega Boss is going to do his Rampage of Destructive Bulk on a 2+, which we failed because that's on a D3.
Alrighty, so I have a couple things to do here. I'm gonna first jump up and down on a 3+ onto the Ragers, which I get. So 6 dice. That's gonna do 3 mortal wounds.
All right, that'll take 1 out.
And then I'm gonna try to pick up another Ardboy and throw him back into that same unit of Ragers, which I do.
2 more mortals.
For 2 more mortal wounds, yeah.
Kills another Rager.
All right.
And then we're gonna start off combat with the brutes that charged in, of course, because they're all buffed up, and put all of our attacks into your Gargant and use all out attack.
Sounds good. I will do all defense.
So we'll start off with the 2 Gore Choppas on 3s and 3s. 8 mortal wounds so far, and 2 at run 2.
All right, so I'll be on 5s. No.
So 16 damage from just the Gore Choppas.
Okay.
And then we'll have 33 more attacks with just the brute weapons. So that'll be 49 damage in total there.
All right, you just barely kill him. We can roll timber, I guess.
I tie it, so I guess we'll reroll.
All right.
A 3.
Hey! All right, so we will do just the Ragers and the unit of 5 brutes. So the Ragers are gonna take 3, and then the unit of 5 brutes are also gonna take 3.
Kills a Rager and another brute.
The Squig Hoppers then attack the Mega Boss and deal 6 damage, while the Mega Boss and Maw Crusher deal just 7 wounds with their retaliation.
And then we are going to spend our last command point to power through with the Maw Crusher and just put his little butt on that objective.
Makes sense.
And that's going to wrap up Ironjawz turn 1, and it was a pretty successful one. We completed our battle tactic with Maw Crusher, who didn't do a lot in combat, but he was just saving it for later because he wanted to power through and hit the objective, which he also did.
Yep.
Notably, there was a cool moment there, or I went for a play. If I had have gotten his 2-up Rampage off, I would have been able to do a 2d6 move and possibly tag the objective while still tagging them and not have to power through. Could have spent the CP on an all-out defense or something else there instead, but in the end, not the biggest deal. What was most exciting though is powering up the brutes. This is what every orc player dreams of.
Yeah.
You get the +1 damage, you get the crit mortals, and you get 10 brutes in combat, and we saw 49 damage to a 3-up save because of all-out defense.
Yeah, and with the Field Sergeant and the Mighty Destroyers, it's like they're actually fast. They move 9 inches.
Yep.
Like
Yeah, and I got +1 to charge. I could have tried to do a prayer for +2, and potentially you can ramp it up to 3d6, so they could be really fast in the right situation too. But obviously went for the damage here, and that'll score us 10 points for completing the tactic, holding more now. So let's jump into priority for round 2, Rich. That's a 2.
Mine's cocked. We got a 6, but obviously I will take the turn and we'll jump into Gargant's turn 2. Alrighty, so having to think through this with Mighty Destroyers is always something fun. So I'm actually gonna go for Take Their Land, and I'm gonna do the one in the southeast corner by the Rabble-Rouser. And then going into the hero phase, we are gonna pray with Broad, so let's see if he gets a 5. He does again. So we will go for the +1 rend on the big weapon. All right, then we are gonna go for the Mesmerize from the Gobblepalooza onto the brutes. So this is gonna turn off commands on them on a 3+, which we're gonna get on a 5. So they're gonna have no commands on the brutes. Then we will cast their only spell. We're gonna go for the Sneaky Distraction, which is the -1 to hit bubble from them. And they're gonna get that on a 9. I'm gonna rally the unit of Hoppers. Okay, and I'm gonna roll all 6 and get 3 back.
I will spend a command point to rally my Mega Boss, and he'll heal 2 wounds. And then I'll spend a command point for Magical Intervention with one of my War Chanters, the one with 3 points, and he'll go for the Kilobeat and roll a 5, but he'll just bank those points and be up to 7. And then for Mighty Destroyers, I am going to move the brutes and just barely tag King Broad.
All right, and then I will go into movement. And then the Rabble-Rouser is going to activate the run and charge onto my Gatebreaker. My Gatebreaker is then going to use at the double to run auto 6. All right, that's all for my movement phase. Alrighty, the Rabble-Rouser is going to shoot into the Brute Ragers. So 3 shots, 4s and 4s.
Goes through.
D3 damage for 2.
I'll kill one more.
Alrighty, so that is going to be it for my shooting phase. We go into charges. So we will charge first with the Squig Herd. We're going to get a big 8. We will charge the Gatebreaker. It's gonna get a 5. All right, so I need a 6 actually, so we're gonna have to re-roll that. Looking for a 6. We got a 4. Hey, big 10. Yeah, I'm not gonna think too much about it. So first is the charge phase mortals, so D3 into the Brutes for 2, and then into the Ardboys for 2.
And I will spend my 2 CP for counter charge with my 2 Ragers. They're gonna get an 11.
Nice. So the Brutes are already roared, so we will jump up and down on them on a 3-up. Nope. And then I guess I just roar the Ardboys because they're the only thing that aren't roared, which I also fail. So I am going to use my Mantle of Tusken Horns here to give the +1 to hit for all my Gargant's Holy 12 from the Gatebreaker.
And then we'll just get to do our shield bashes with the Brutes, or the Ardboys, sorry, but we failed them all because I told them the wrong name. And at the start of combat, I am going to get to activate the Ragers first because they charged and get strike first. And they also get an extra attack because they rolled an 11. That's going to be 4 at round 1 for 2 damage each.
You'll kill 2 of the handlers and 6 squigs will try to mortal you. Okay, so mortal wounds, you'll take 3 mortal wounds back, so I will kill 1. Okay, so now we are going to go with King Broad. He is going to pile in and put all of his attacks into the Brutes. So first we'll go with the Stomps. So we're going to be 3s, so D3 damage for 2. And then the Death Grip fails. And then his big club is going to be 3s and 2s. So that'll be 12 damage total.
So you will kill 4 Brutes. And then the Brutes piled in, and they're going to put 5 of their attacks into King Broad and 1 more into your Squigs. So we'll go into the Squigs first. So that's going to be 9 damage into them.
Okay, I'll roll a 4. You take 1 mortal wound back.
Which will kill a Brute at the end. And then into King Broad, we will have 15 mortal wounds and 3 at round 1.
Okay, 5s. I'm gonna fail all 3.
For 9 more damage. Not too bad.
Okay, well, I guess I just go with the Gatebreaker now. So we'll go all into the Ardboys. So the Stomps first on 3s. D3 for 2. The Death Grip fails. Alrighty, and the big weapon is going to be an extra rend here, so let's see if we can do some damage with this. So 3s, and those will be 4 damage each, so 12 damage.
You will perfectly finish off the Ardboys.
Nice. Well, we are back from my turn 2. Yeah, Brutes do a lot of damage. That was pretty insane, the amount of damage that Broad took. Everything went exactly how I was planning it. So I was able to get the run and charge off on the Gatebreaker. He auto 6'd, got in just barely with the reroll. I got my spell off. I even got the prayer for extra rend on the big weapons. It's just Gargants. You can just constantly, even 3s and 2s, like you're gonna drop a bunch of dice. So Broad, yeah, did not do nearly as much damage as I thought he was going to as well. And you're a 3-up save, so even rend 3, you made a couple 6s.
Yeah, it was the perfect amount for me to disengage with your other Dargant 2 and then pile away, which was perfect scenario for me.
Was massive, because then I wasn't able to put, I would have liked to keep those Ardboys and kill those other Brutes. So yeah, I was able to kill the Ardboys cleanly.
I was hoping actually for you to attack somewhere else so I could disengage King Broad, even with like, if you had done like 6 damage with your rampages or something, I could have disengaged and it was beyond charge phase, so. But the way it worked out in the end.
Yes, because the Squigs I thought as well, like they're gonna do a bunch of damage also. So that was the other talking point. A small mistake from me, which I charged in and I intended to stay outside of 3 of them, thinking that I would make Jordan have to spend his last 2 CP to bait it out, which actually he has a turn here still, so spending 2 CP is big, but in my head I'm like, that will also make it so he can't all out defense. Forgetting that I did the Mesmerize, which made it so the Brutes already couldn't do commands,
Yeah.
and I also had the other one to turn off commands, which I failed. But
Yeah.
so small, I could have tagged them so they didn't have to strike first and wipe my squigs. But you did what, 9 damage anyways with the brutes.
Yeah, so it was it worked out again to keep my objectives, to deny the hold more.
Yeah.
So it'll be 8 points.
Yeah, we'll score 8.
And I am out of CP though, so we're gonna have an interesting turn as we jump into Ironjawz turn 2. All right, so here we are going to go for slay the entourage for my battle tactic here and go and try and take down King Broad. And then my War Chanter, who has a bunch of points banked, is going to chant for the kill beat onto my 4 brutes. And I'll get a 2, so that's going to go off with a 9. Can't pick 2 units, but at least we get it off. And then Zaldrat's going to try and give them some mortal wounds, which he will. And the last War Chanter is going to chant for the get and beat onto Zaldrat. And bank 5 points. And then I have my Mighty Destroyers move, and we're just going to bring my Mega Boss 3 inches closer to the action. And that'll be it for my hero phase. So we'll just get into movement.
Okay, I'm gonna go for the redeploy on the Gobblepalooza, and we're gonna get a 3.
And then we're going to get into charges, and we're going to start off with the Brute Rager. And that's going to be all my charges. So, Ridge, you can do your rampage.
All right, I will jump up and down on the buffed unit because there is a wound there. No, I will not.
And because he charged, the Brute Rager is going to get to strike first. And it'll be -1 to hit because of your Gobblepalooza. So it's going to miss entirely.
Sounds right.
And then we're going to go with a bigger unit of brutes into King Broad. And these guys are just outside of the -1 to hit bubble. So we've got the door hatches first. That'll be 3 at Ren 2, 3 damage each.
Okay, so 9.
And then the normal brute weapons, 8 more damage.
You kill them. Okay, so we have Timber. I rolled a 6 again.
You got it.
Nice. So let's do the Brute Rager. Does kill him. The big unit of brutes for 2 and the 4-pack for 1.
And because Broad went down there, you have no units in combat right now, Ridge, so I'll get to activate my other unit of brutes. And I'm going to pile in and hit your Gobblepalooza with a couple guys. We got 3 mortals, and that's it.
Okay, I'll have 5 aboard because it's turn 2. You will almost kill 1. I will pile in with them. So we'll have the 4 of them, 4s and 4s. Sweet, all miss.
And that'll wrap up Ironjawz turn 2, so pretty solid. We did what we wanted to do, which is kill King Broad. That'll secure the battle tactic for 4 points. And because the Mega Boss decided to do the cut-in thing and go for the objective, not for the combat, so that's going to get me more objectives as well. So I'm going to be getting the full 10 points here, which will put me up by 2 points going into round 3. And you did throw a spike in my wheel with the redeploy of your Gobblepalooza to get that -1 to hit bubble out larger. And it stopped me. I would have probably tried to put those 4 brutes when they piled in into your Guardian. If not, even if I die return, it's 20 damage. Potentially before, with them all buffed up and an extra attack, it'd be a lot, right?
The big one was we measured it before, and if I would have rolled a 4 instead of a 3, I would have got these 5 brutes
as well.
Would have been in, which would have been massive. Now, we were kind of keeping track while Jordan was rolling, and he rolled really well, so he had a lot of 5s to hit. So, but normally that's where I decided instead of going for using the CP for all-out defense, I went for the -1 to hit because I feel like even if I did the all-out defense, 9 brutes into him would have still killed me.
Yeah.
Whereas if I got the -1 to hit and hitting on 5s, they could have easily missed a ton of attacks.
Yeah, so an alternate way of trying to keep King Broad alive.
Yes, and I was so close to doing it. And the reason he could do it too, which if you didn't see on camera, he could pile equidistant to King Broad,
and
which pulled you just barely out of Holy 12, because that's the sneaky distraction spell is Holy 12 of the Gobblepalooza. So close to being like a really, really good redeploy, just one off.
Yep, but again, here in the end, a good turn for the orcs. You still got 1 big guy and a bunch of goblins running around as well.
Yep.
We're gonna have to chase down, but we can go into priority for round 3.
Yes, sir.
That's a 3.
I got a 4. Yeah, I will just take the turn. I don't think there's a good way taking it or giving it away, and I don't want to just die yet, so I'm going to take the turn, and we'll go into Gargant's turn 3. Okay, so for my battle tactic, I'm just gonna go for do not waver, so I just have to fight with 2 units and have nothing die. Hero phase is gonna be quick. I'm just going to do my -1 to hit bubble from the Gobblepalooza again, which I will actually fail on a 6. And then they will just go for the same thing of no commands. Let's actually do it on the unit of 5 brutes, which I'll get. I don't want them countercharging me. Okay, that's gonna be all for my hero phase.
Then I am just going to Mighty Destroyers to tag your Guardians.
All right, so then I will go into my movement phase. So for rampages, I guess I'll go for the no commands on the 4-pack as well. So on a 3-up. No. So this is kind of a hard little play here with the do not waver. I was thinking it'd be much easier, but the tagging me means that I can't just go with the Gobblepalooza because I could kill one and then my Gatebreaker would be out of combat. So I have to go first with the Gatebreaker. We are gonna not do all-out attack because I won't mind if they don't die.
And I'll go for the all-out defense with the brutes still.
All right, so first we're gonna go with the stomps. D3 for 1, and then the death grip fails, the big boulder, 4 damage.
So that'll be 5 damage in total. That will kill 2 brutes. And then my War Chanter is going to use all-out attack to try and take down this little hero and deny the tactic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the all-out defense here.
So 3s, 4 wounds, no rend.
All right, so I'm gonna be to a 4-up save. I make 3 of them.
And we just deal 1 damage.
Woohoo!
The Gobblepalooza then attacks and takes down another brute. Then the lone surviving Orruk deals no damage to the Gatebreaker, and the Rabble Rouser deals 3 wounds to the War Chanter.
All right, so for my turn here, some craziness. We got the tactic and we hold 2. That is the big thing here, because I will get 8 points. Now, I didn't really need to put in the Rabble Rouser, but there is a world where I killed all those brutes and then I couldn't fight with the 2nd unit, so I wanted to put in a 3rd unit in case that didn't happen.
Yes, and I did the all-out defense there because I wanted them to survive at that point because he was in there.
Yeah.
I could have not done it and then even more of a chance that the brutes go down.
Exactly, and that's why I didn't do the all-out attack with the Gatebreaker as well. And if I would have went first with the Gobblepalooza, I could have done even 1 damage and that would have pulled out the brutes.
pulled out a model
and then,
to be able to,
because I'm like
disengage.
trapped inside of this like little fortress of trees, and well, you did the Mighty Destroyers, which tagged me and made all this happen. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna get my tactic and I will get 8 points.
Yeah, so up to 26.
Yeah, so it'll be a good turn, and then yeah, the little Rabble Rouser stayed alive.
Yeah, and we're gonna have to answer back and jump into Ironjawz turn 3. All right, let's go into Ironjawz turn 3, and we're gonna go for the cunning approach. We've got a unit in combat, so I have to charge another unit. We'll say the Mega Boss, and we have to take down that Guardian. And into the hero phase, I'm gonna start off with Mighty Destroyers and move my War Chanter just to get him in range to buff the 5 brutes. And he is going to go for the Kilobeat, which will get off on an 8, just enough to give them +1 damage. And then Zodrak's going to try and give them mortals, which he does. And then the other War Chanter is going to go for the healing beat on himself. And I think I failed that with a 3, so he'll bank those. And that's going to be it for my hero phase.
We are definitely going to go for the big old sneaky distraction here. This could be crippling to the Destruction Army. It is cast on a 7, so I just need to show a little 8. Yes, we got an 8.
You got it.
Alrighty, we got the -1 to hit bubble up.
All right, making it harder, but we're going to get into the movement phase now. All right, that's it for movement, so I'll just jump into shooting with the Maw Crusher into your big guy. That'll be 3 at no rend.
So 4s. Nope, I take 3.
And then into the charges, we're gonna remember to call the wall this turn, and we're gonna do it with this War Chanter right beside Zodrak. But we'll go first with the Mega Boss. And that is gonna give a +1 to charge bubble out to everybody else, so I'll be +2 to charge on these brutes.
Nice.
9. And because I have the guaranteed charge, I'm actually just spending CP to re-roll this to try and fish for the extra attack. Into a 12 to 14, worth it. And then I'm going to start off with doing my Mega Boss's Rampage into your Guardian, and I'll deal 3 mortal wounds.
3, cool, up to 6. no point for me to body slam. I really want to body slam that Maw Crusher, but there's no point. So I'm gonna just do the jump up and down again into the brutes on a 3, which I do get, nice, and 5 up mortals, it will do 1.
Which will finish one off.
Nice.
And then I am gonna fight first with the brutes. I am -1 to hit because of your stupid spell. And I'm also not able to use CP because of the Gobbapalooza's ability, but I will be at +2 attacks. That's what matters. Just gonna be 4 mortal wounds and 1 at Rend 2 here.
Yep, so I'll go 3 to a 5.
So 8 damage in total.
All right.
And then the regular weapons. So 6 damage in total from those other brutes. So.
Okay, so he's up to 20. All right, well, you know I'm going for it. I know you're probably yelling at the screen. We have to go for the Hillbilly Blizzard, so I'm gonna choose to try to do the 4d6 mortal wounds to the Maw Crusher on a 4+. So, here we go. We got it, let's go. So 4d6 mortals. He's taken 16 mortal wounds.
That's 20, he's going down.
Woohoo!
And then we're gonna fight with the Wounded War Chanter into your little hero. That's gonna be 3 at no rend, and I'll deal 4 damage.
Perfectly kills him. All right, so we are gonna go with the Gobbapalooza just all into the single brute that has 1 wound on him. Both miss. Good try, guys.
And then that brute is gonna hit the Gatebreaker. Wounds once for 2 more damage.
Okay.
And that's gonna wrap up Ironjawz turn 3 here, which obviously a little disappointing. Obviously was just seeing red and forgot about the pulverizement. Oh, my Mega Boss will live through your combat. Like, I wasn't too worried about it, but obviously 46 mortal wounds is no joke. Here, again, the big thing that really slowed me down was the -1 hit from your Gobbapalooza,
Yeah.
as well as the no commands. So the Gobbapalooza,
Just that unit.
as a Regiment of Round, have been like the all-stars in this game of
Yeah.
trying to keep your units alive.
They're an incredible unit, obviously in Gits as well, but here, just, yeah,
so-
so good.
Yeah, really big because I was on 5s to hit and couldn't go back to 4s, let alone be on 4s and go to 3s, which is what my brutes would have loved to do, and probably do a bunch more damage. Maybe they don't finish him off, but again, I was just trying to get him into range for my Mega Boss to do the last wounds, which you're 13 away, so it was still dicey because of that -1 hit, but again, I wanted to all-out attack the boss and try and do the work. In the end, we didn't get it, so that's actually gonna deny me my battle tactic, and I'm only gonna store 4 points because we both have 3 objectives at this point in the game, so it's not looking that good. So I'm down 2 points going into round 4 and priority.
Yep,
That's a 6.
4 to me.
I don't care at all about battle tactics, so let's jump into it. We gotta finish off, really we gotta clean up the board state, and let's do that going into Ironjawz turn 4.
Sounds good.
All right, so no battle tactic this turn, but we're going to chant with this War Chanter for Kilobeat on the brutes, and we'll get it with a 7, so they're going to be +1 damage again. And let's see if Zodrak can give them mortal wounds. He does. And then the other War Chanter is going to go for the heal and beat, or the fix and beat. And roll a 2 and bank those 2 points. And then we'll get into movement. And that's my movement, so I have no shooting, and I'm going to jump right into charges. And I am going to call the wall with a War Chanter.
So I'm going to finally get to do the terrain thing. So I'm going to blow up this piece of terrain that everyone's on. So the War Chanter is going to take 3, Zograk is going to take 3, and the brutes are going to take 3. Wow, 9 mortal wounds. All right, we will try the jump up and down. Yeah, we'll just go for the brutes. I will do a mortal wound.
And we are going to jump right into combat with those brutes, putting all the attacks into your big guy.
Yep, and we're going to go for an all-out defense.
So the 2 door choppers first. No 6s, 1 hit, doesn't wound.
Yikes.
Destruction. Now the boss will deal 3 mortals and put 1 through at round 1.
Okay, 4. I make it.
Okay, so just 3 damage out of those brutes.
Okay, so I'm actually just going to put everything into Zograk.
And I'll go for all defense here.
So, and then his big weapon,
2 go through.
that'll be 8 damage.
You finish him off.
The War Chanters then only manage to deal a single damage to the Gatebreaker, while the Gobbapalooza finishes off the lone brute.
All right, that's it for Ironjawz turn 4, and we're running out of steam a little bit after the Mega Boss went down. I just really wasn't getting as much damage as I needed to through these past couple turns. Again, mostly that -1 hit bubble. It's why, again, when I had those brutes buffed up even 3 turns ago,
Yes.
and it didn't pile into him, they could have put their 20 damage easily if I had have not been -1 to hit, right?
Yes,
So,
and they rolled really hot, like the turn earlier.
and so I didn't even go into combat there.
Yep.
So we're just seeing even a single Guardian has done more than the rest of your Guardians, like your other 2 combined did.
The
And
Gobapalooza has done more than anything in my army.
yes, with the impact of the spells for sure.
Spell, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's now looking a little dire for the Greenskins, and we'll just see what happens as we go into Sons of Behemat turn 4.
Let's do it. All right, so I'm gonna go for actually the same tactic that Jordan did, and we are gonna do the continent approach. And I'm just gonna choose the brutes here. So for spells, I'm just gonna put that -1 to hit bubble back up. Why not? It's been the best all game. So it's back up with the 10, and then I will rally those the hoppers over there. So we will get back 1. And then lastly, I will go for the no commands again from the Gobapalooza onto the brutes on a 3, which I will get. So no commands. Okay, that's it for the hero phase.
All right, I'll just use my Mighty Destroyers to try and run away.
Yep. Perfect. So first thing, they were just going to move the squig hoppers D6 plus 8, so they're going to go 13 inches. Okay, so then now we jump into the charge phase. We're going to just charge those squigs. They're going to go 9. All right, so I'm just going to go with the squigs now, and we're going to do all attack and put everything into the brutes. So it will be 13 at rend 1.
And you are going to deal 9 damage right there to finish off the brutes.
The war chanters try their best to bring down the Gargant, but only deal a single damage before every last Orc is wiped from the battlefield.
Okay, well, that was quite the turn. We're gonna score the continent approach, get more for a big 10. I don't know what to say. This has been a one of those roller coaster games that has just went insane.
Yeah, it's been a wild one, lots of back and forth. But at least our Greenskins, hold on to their honor because they didn't bring any magic this game.
Yes, that's fair. That is true. And the magic that I brought was very impactful.
Yeah, it turns out magic is good, and you should bring it.
The story of the day is just straight up -1 to hit is just crippling against destruction armies, which we know that. Not just destruction, like playing a bunch of Beasts of Chaos and...
a lot of armies, any debuffs can be very impactful.
But hitting on 4s, especially combining it with no commands, just hitting on 5s is rotten. It's very good. So, yeah, the TSN turning point of the Hillbilly Blizzard doing whatever and taking down the Maw Crusher was...
Yeah, 50-50, you rolled the 4.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I think you had, 13 wounds left at the time? And the Maw Crusher would have a good chance to take down the Guardian with an all-out attack.
Which flips the game completely.
Yep. Yeah, so in the end, you have the Guardian alive. You store 10 points here, so you'll be up to...
I can do C's, actually.
Yeah, you'll be up to 36, and you'll get another 10 points for 46 in round 5.
Yep.
But yeah, that'll be it for the game, and it was a bloody one. Obviously, lots of action. I hope you stuck with us through the end. If you did, thank you so much. We appreciate your support, and we look forward to seeing you in another battle report.
Have a good week, everyone.